My indie game officially has its own Steam page. For those new here, I am working on an action-adventure crime driving game set in Perth, Western Australia called The Larcenist. It's been a little while since the last devlog, so I have tried my best to make some progress on the game. Anyway, enough blabbering on, let's get to the progress I've made since the last devlog. In December of last year, I launched my first website, nalmeshgames.com. It contains information about the games I have made in the past, where to contact me, and where to find my projects. It's a basic HTML website, coded by yours truly, so don't expect it to blow you away. But for the time being, I feel like it is a good page to introduce people to myself and my games. In the near future, I will also make a website for The Larcenist, but I have quite a lot of other stuff I need to do first. Because I kinda scrapped the whole NPC system, I had to recreate the car AI, and now it semi-successfully works again. An additional thing I added which didn't exist last time was the ability for NPC cars to not crash into each other or other roadblocks. I've also done some extra work to the car physics system, as I've made all the physics settings modular, meaning they can be edited and reused much easier, and I don't have to enter every single value on every single wheel myself. While doing this, I've also done a little work to the gears system. Now there is a list of gear structures I've made, which tell the car what revs per minute the engine should be at, and which RPM would cause a shift in gears. The gears also affect the power of the engine, where the power of the engine gets multiplied by the value the RPM is at on the curve. This might not be very realistic, but I'm not making BeamNG here, as I'm only one guy, and I want to finish the game at some point. I've also done a bit of 3D modelling. I've partly modelled a couple skyscrapers. Some parts are a bit tricky though, as I've never attempted modelling this Victorian style of architecture before, which is present a lot in Perth City. Although, after nearly finishing modelling the Palace Hotel, it's actually not too bad, so hopefully I get through them. To make modelling a bit more bearable, I might start doing weekly modelling streams. But don't quote me on that, because as you guys know, this channel has a great history of being consistent. I've also started modelling more trees, as I felt like the map was way too akin to that of a Fallout game than Perth City, so I started modelling a couple trees that you would find in the Perth area. This is a Queensland brush box tree, a common verge tree in Perth suburbs, and this is the Moreton Bay fig tree, a tree found in many parks, including Hyde Park and the Court Gardens. Recently, I've vastly improved the inventory and weapon system, which allowed me to actually show the weapons the player has on different parts of their body, akin to Red Dead Redemption 2, which alongside the GTA series, has been a big inspiration on multiple design elements of my game. The player also has the ability to swap their weapons on the weapon wheel, drop weapons and pick them up, which fixes an annoying issue I had with GTA 5, which was that when you had a weapon, you could not get rid of them at all. An additional thing that you can do with weapons now is hip firing, which means you can fire your gun without aiming, which I admit was a very annoying thing that was left out of the MVP demo. The player also has different stances for when they are aiming, hip firing, and idling with the gun, which I feel makes my game feel a bit more polished. A little thing I added is footstep sounds. I know this might sound dumb, but I feel like it makes the player feel less floaty and more grounded in the world. Another thing that makes the player feel more grounded in the world is this massive subscribe button. Oh, poor guy. He's stuck. I'm sure he needs some help lifting that. Just saying. Another thing, I would really appreciate it if you would wishlist my game, The Larcenist, on Steam. Wishlists are a good indicator of how well a game will do, so I'm aiming to achieve 50 wishlists by the end of 2026. From a professional standpoint, 50 wishlists is nothing. But as an indie developer with a little over 100 subscribers, every wishlist means the world to me, as more wishlists means more fuel for Steam's algorithm, and it would also show me that people are as excited about the game as I am. Anyway, a third thing that makes the player feel more grounded in the world is, ironically, jump animations. I feel like this made a huge difference to how jumping felt before this, and overall the game feels much more immersive now. I mean, at this point, immersion clearly isn't my top priority, but baby steps. Another thing I'm actively working on is better camera and movement controls. Before, the player could strafe left and right while moving, which didn't really feel right for a third-person game. In my opinion, the most intuitive implementation of 3D camera and movement controls is Grand Theft Auto 5, so I'll be trying to replicate that system the best I can. Now, I know a lot of people complain about GTA 5's controls being too unresponsive and clunky, so I will try to make my movement system responsive, yet intuitive like GTA 5's. So far, I've made it so you can only strafe while using a weapon, Otherwise, the player's horizontal input would make the player tilt in the direction of their input, making a more realistic sideways movement system than my previous one. I would say for the past few months to a year, I've been working at about a third of what I feel like I'm capable of, but after finally finishing all of the boring legal stuff and getting access to the Steamworks developer dashboard, I've gained a new wave of motivation, so funnily enough, as of writing this script, I've made more things this week than the past 3 months. I just really hope that this momentum keeps up, as I have a lot of plans on what to do this year, and it will be not very optimal for my game if I just rot whilst playing Stardew Valley or GTA. If you have any thoughts about the game, or you have some feedback that you would like to share with me, the comment section will be a great place to voice your opinion. I would love to hear what you guys think of my game so far. See you guys in the next video.